Absolutely. Are we live here?
Yes.
I think so.
We were just gonna say hi, hello, and go.
Beautiful.
Stand.
I saw you on the Unacceptable Views documentary.
Yeah.
We're all live right now. Come on in here. Paul Minder's here. So we're down here in Queen's Park to defend children protests. And I saw you in the Unacceptable Views documentary.
Yeah.
And what about this protest today? What does it mean to you to keep coming out and supporting?
My name is Kuljit, and we run a charitable organization called Sovereign Seva. And we were at the convoy feeding the truckers and on the front lines. And just like we said back then to Rebel News and Druthers and all the other outlets that were there, the truthful media covering why we were there, it's for the next generation. And it's exactly what I mentioned in the Unacceptable Views documentary. We're here for the next generation. I have nieces and nephews. I don't have children of my own, but nieces and nephews. I have friends with children. They are like my children. I care for them, and we need to stand up for them because as young as they are, they don't know what's coming. So we have to be their voice. We have to be their shield. And hell or high water, man, we're here till the end. So if they want to come after our children, they have a next thing coming. Trust that.
That's right.
100%.
And we got to take care of the future of our children, and you take care of the freedom fighters by feeding them, right?
Yeah, 100%. And the freedom fighters also left their children to join the convoy. This is why, we made sure they were also fed, and we got to meet a lot of the families of the truckers, and we thanked them for their sacrifice because they were going weeks without work. They got bills to pay, but they made that sacrifice to take a stand because we believe in the charter, we believe in our freedoms, and we believe to be sovereign, which is why our group is called Sovereign Seva, selfless service of the sovereign people. So that's why we're here.
I love it. And how about yourself, sir? Did you want to speak to what's going on?
Oh,
All right.
Legend, sure.
I'm here for the same reason. I mean, our children are our future, and we need to stand up for them.
Yeah.
And I wish there were more people out here, but it starts small and it sort of snowballs into a bigger effect. But yeah, our children are our future, and if we can't do this for them now, then what's the point of doing anything?
That's right.
Yeah. So.
And like, did you always come out to the freedom protests and like, how can we encourage more people to come out? Like, what was the turning point for you to kind of like wake up and start to show up?
Well, I've always been sort of in tune with what was going on from the beginning, and in order to get more people out, I think people are slowly waking up. They're slowly seeing that they've been lied to, and some are in denial, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Some don't want the conflict, and obviously there's a lot of corporate work, the workspace it's tied in.
Yeah.
But we helped a woman. She was sort of fired from the Toronto housing, and we helped her out, and now they're calling them back to work. So, I mean, a little resistance, and they know that we mean business and why we're here. So,
Yeah,
it's important.
It's those little battles too, right?
yeah.
Those little battles of standing up
And it goes back to if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile eventually. And you have to take a stand somewhere. And we come from a warrior lineage and a warrior history where our turbans represent our crown. And it represents courage, and we fought alongside different countries in the world wars. We have 83,000 plus sacrifices for all of Europe combined. Our ancestors fought in the wars. We have a warrior lineage history battling tyranny. So who are we if we don't follow our forefathers or follow what's in our bloodline and not stand here? It's our duty. It's our duty.
This way, so we stand out. We don't
So we stand out.
blend
We're
in,
not going
right?
to hide behind no bushes, right?
Yeah.
We're meant to stand out so that when we were in Ottawa on the front lines, we wanted them to see us and let them know that, the Sikhs aren't only warriors when they fight to defend this great Canadian northern land, We're going to fight for our own people and the people who love sovereignty and freedom. And that's across the board, anywhere, anytime. It's the duty of a Sikh to put their life on the line for their fellow man.
And big up to the mothers that came out today for this. This is important. And we need to have more of this because our kids need to know what we stand for.
And the men need to start coming out more. We're seeing a lot more sovereign women, the strong women who give birth to freedom fighters. Yeah, I'm sure they do, but men and fathers play a role as well. So we're urging the fathers to come out. The men who probably don't have children also come out and support, because throughout this freedom movement, women have been an integral part and we appreciate them, right?
Absolutely.
But we just urge more men, more participation, more youth to come out and support this, because this is not a one-day fight where there's a long way to go still, right?
But Greg, we love what you do, man.
Yeah.
Thank
We just
you,
wanted to come
You
by
wanna-
and say hello.
No, do you want to start marching?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it, yeah.
We got a new cameraman, so hopefully he can hang with the marching and the marching and the filming. Paul Minder, how are you?
Good to see you, man.
I'm good to see you.
Always
too, bro.
good to see you.
But I wanted to say something and hear comments on it. I'm noticing a pattern here. You pronounce it sick?
Sick.
I always said seek. I guess I'm
Sick.
sick. Okay, sick.
Yes, you did it.
So I'm noticing a pattern here where the sick Canadians, the like old stock Canadians,
Yeah.
the people who come to these protests know their history.
Yep.
You know, they know where they came from. They know about the sacrifices that were made for us to live in a society like
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Yeah.
That's not really a question. I just wanted to point that pattern out, I guess.
No, it's a great observation, and I agree. And I think we need to be more in tune with our ancestors and our history, even if we're first-generation Canadians. Of course, there were Canadian freedom fighters here that broke barriers and, helped shape the country we live in today. We can't forget their sacrifices, whether it's entrepreneurs, inventors, medical discoveries like the discovery of insulin by Dr. Best. And, Canadians they invented the telephone. These things are revolutionary things that Canadians have invented.
Cameraman said insulin was invented right over there.
Yeah.
That's the school.
That's awesome. There you go, right? So it's important not only to remember where we came from back home, but to entrench ourselves in the history of our land here, because this is where we call home.
Absolutely. Did you want to plug? You were mentioning you're part of an organization. Did you want to plug that for the people at home?
Sovereign Seva 13 on Instagram. Most of so that's the word sovereign, SOVER EIGN, Seva, SEVA, the number 13. So that's at Sovereign Seva 13, and we feed the unhoused at Moss Park every Sunday from 12 to 4:30 p.m. We were just there earlier today.
Amazing. Have you heard of Artur Pawlowski?
Was he the pastor or?
Yeah. He was the pastor that got arrested a bunch of times.
in Alberta, right?
Yeah. During lockdowns and stuff. And the thing that a lot of people don't know is before all this pandemic lockdown stuff, Artur Pawlowski was in Calgary feeding the homeless for like 20 years in Calgary. And he was getting arrested for that.
He's awesome, man, and props to him. Props to him for that. We appreciate his service. He's a true freedom fighter, and it's ironic that you bring him up. And we're talking about the unhoused because I was reading an article recently about assisted suicide, and a lot of the people that are going that route are the unhoused that live on the street.
Right.
So it's ironic that you bring that up.
I mean, and really, like, how disgusting. Have you heard of this MAID stuff? This medical assistance in dying? Have you heard about this?
Yeah. That's what I was alluding to with regards to that article. So if this country has become so distraught and so difficult to live in that most of the unhoused rather take their life rather than continue living, right? And that's a sad predicament that I thought I would never see living in a free country like Canada.
Yeah, and it's so bafflingly and just like it just angers you to have these politicians who are like trying to talk like everything's so great, and they're also justifying this MAID stuff. Like, the quality of life is so great. Oh, by the way, there's also this option for you that we're going to encourage on you. But anyway, Sovereign Sabbath, thanks so much. I think we're going to try to run up the crowd here.
Go ahead.
Anything else you want to say before we go?
No, I want every politician, mainly even from our Sikh community, there's tons of them, come to the forefront and speak out. You guys know the truth. Don't hide behind your paychecks. Do your job.
Oh, I love that. Don't hide behind your paychecks. I'm going to steal that one from you.
No problem, bro. Nice meeting you.
Yeah,
Greg.
you too. We'll see you around.
Big fan.
All right. Do you want to get some cardio, cameraman, and try to jog up the crowd a bit?
Yeah, let me get
Because usually we fall back. That's what happens.
just go up to the sidewalk.
We got Igor too, cameraman. I don't want to dox you, so.
I'm free now. I'm free.
Oh, really?
I quit all my jobs. I get to be myself.
But yeah, for those just tuning in, this is we're doing this is at the protest, Queen's Park, downtown Toronto. We just started marching, and it is Stand Up for Children. It's Defend Children. a focus on moms, really, the power of the matriarch, moms and women coming out to stand up for children. We're just going to jump ahead a bit in the crowd here so we don't get left behind. If you've watched the stream before and we're marching, you'll know that sometimes we just have so much time, so much fun chatting with people that, we want to stay in the crowd here. Let's try to jump in right here. See if anyone wants to chat. How are we doing, chat? How are we feeling? How are we feeling, Canada? Put F's in chat for freedom. Let's see here. Let's see here. What's that? Yeah. Hi there. Is that your friend here?
Well,
Hey, ma'am.
this is Josephine.
Josephine, would you like to chat on YouTube Live?
Hold on.
Sure. Okay, she's busy right now. Would you like to chat on YouTube Live?
Sure, what's your question?
So, I do want to clarify that this protest doesn't endorse the F Trudeau flag, but I wanted to talk to this guy. You got the biggest F Trudeau flag that I've ever seen.
I do.
And in some
Trudeau, it's a fuck Trudeau.
right. And in some cases size does matter, right? So
It does matter.
Well, when you're a big piece of shit, size shit.
okay. Well, we'll come back to you in a second, right, sir? I want to chat with you.
Oh, you can keep going.
No, well, we're all walking together, right? We're all going to the same spot. So, Josephine, tell me about what brings you out today and the flags that you have.
Okay, what brings me out today is freedom. It's not an Indigenous problem anymore, as you guys are well aware of residential school and all the children that have been taken and murdered and starved to death and electrocuted and frozen in the cold trying to make it back home. The government and Trudeau is a fucking dictator that makes people take an experiment so they gotta feed their family. So I support him with the flag, even though they asked him not to. You can't have a dictator in Canada or anywhere and then tell us what to do. Trudeau needs to go to jail. He needs to be executed for treason. He went against all people. When the truckers stood up for us, that was for everybody. People have already committed suicide. It's not an Indigenous problem. They're coming for all the fucking children. And that's why we're here. And there's nothing wrong with what Clayton's doing. This is everything right because he's standing in his power.
And Joseph,
and my flag, it's the Women's Warrior. It's the Six Nations. I'm Onondaga. And then this purple and white one is the Truro Wampum Treaty. I carry this treaty so I don't get murdered. So I can pick medicine. So I can make a sacred fire when the people need it. And I do that. I just lit some sage in the park. It might have looked like a little fire, but it's good medicine for the people.
awesome. And part of my ignorance, I missed, what tribe are you a part of?
Six Nations.
Six Nations.
Yeah.
And you're basically assuring us and assuring our viewers that, you know, for the first time, non-Indigenous Canadians know what it feels like, essentially.
Exactly. Children are dropping dead from the experiment. This is not a fucking game. This is the fight for our life.
And I know that, you know, during the trucker convoy, for example, I'm assuming you supported the convoy. What was going on there?
Oh yeah, we were there drumming and sending good energy there.
I talked to what's his name?
We were there for Rolling Thunder, and we got the beautiful Lynn Brooks here with Canadian Women for Freedom. You should interview her.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're holding the line. We have bright night convoys. We were going through here in Pickering last night. We did the Festival of Lights, Dufferin Islands and Niagara Falls. We're changing it up. There's so many groups that branched off of this movement. Our friend Ashley in Pickering has Communities for Freedom. We were giving baked goods to the firefighters last night. So we're all in this together.
Absolutely. And during the convoy, I don't know, do you watch the news in this country?
I don't watch the news. It's fake news. If it's anything important, my friends will tell me.
That's right. That's right.
He came from London to Canada.
Yeah, well, you're pretty clear with what you said. I guess, like, do you have any commentary for, these Canadians who just seem not to care? There seems to be so many people who just don't care
They
about what's
get
going on.
comfortable. That's why we're in this fucking mess, because they complied. They're still wearing. Look at this guy. Look at them. They're in fear. They're under MK Ultra.
There's people with masks over
Show
there.
us your face. You're so pretty. They don't know. They don't know any better. The people with the masks.
So I see you're live. Do you want to plug your social media so my viewers can find you?
Josephine LaValle on Facebook.
Josephine LaValle on Facebook. Awesome.
And
Amazing.
Instagram, Everlasting Love 333.
Oh.
My name?
Yeah, how do you spell it?
Josephine, LaValle, LA, then Valley. What's your channel?
My name is Greg Wycliffe.
Oh,
Hi.
yeah. Oh, you're the comedian.
Yeah, sort of.
Oh my God.
I try to
was
make
just
people laugh.
watching you last week. Everybody loves you.
Well, I'm always love to
We
see
gotta
more
do
freedom
jokes.
fighters.
We gotta do
Absolutely.
some jokes.
Thanks for chatting
Thank
with me.
you so much.
Yeah, no problem. No
Now
problem.
take her now.
Okay, she's next. Apparently you're next. How's it going?
Good. I'm just live streaming. I live stream all the events that I'm at anyway.
Amazing. And
Yeah.
what was your name again,
My
sorry?
name's Lynn Brooks.
Lynn
and
Brooks?
well, Josephine threw me on here, but I created a website or web page, not a web page, a Facebook page called Canadian Women for Freedom. And I
Yes.
started that back in April after the truckers got forcibly thrown out of Ottawa.
Yep.
And then Neil got on the hill and said the bikes were coming.
Yep.
And I had the vision of the women on the hill. And not so much moms and grandmas, but women, standing on the hill and saying no and holding the line. And so it kind of got a little waylaid, but we decided we would have it on the first day that the Parliament came back in session in September. So
Okay.
September 19th, but then the Queen died and
She stole the thunder.
and so they had her funeral there, and so I wasn't going to have it during a funeral, and besides that, Parliament was not in session, so I wasn't going to. I had no reason to stand there to an empty house.
Right.
That was the point. So a few of us did manage to get to Ottawa, and we stood at the gates and welcomed those parliamentarians back to office on the September 20th. So that's really who I am, and I live in Toronto, and I've been involved in these rallies and protests, and went up to Rolling Thunder and Canada Day and marched in with James Topp, and we're all here to, as we all know, we're just here to fight for our freedoms. We should have body autonomy. I mean,
Simple.
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 Like really, a government or anyone can tell me what to put in my body, even if it's a glass of water. Sorry, it's not your job to tell me what I can put or what I should put in my body.
Especially not the government. Hello.
Hey, I saw you at the James Todd thing in Toronto. Yeah. I saw you there. And I know you've been working a little bit with Canada Unity, or have you?
Not like officially. I don't think.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe
Yeah.
officially you are now.
I'm just down here on my own volition with my cell phone and my cameraman guy.
Greg or
Greg, yeah.
Greg, yeah.
But I wanted to say,
Canada Unity, like they're planning the next convoy coming in. Well, they're not going to come right into Ottawa, but you know of that, right?
I've heard a lot of murmurings. I've heard a lot of things going on, and
Okay.
I don't think it's ever going to be as big as last year. But
no,
I think it's
exactly the
important to
same.
celebrate and commemorate absolutely what happened last year.
We need to.
But I do want to touch on the angle which you've founded,
okay.
because I feel like there's nothing more ferocious than the mama bear, right? The power of the matriarch, the power of the angry mother protecting the cubs.
Yeah.
And I feel like that energy, I think it's smart to channel that energy here in Canada to wake people up,
Well, absolutely.
And also to scare the politicians as well, right?
Yeah, there's nothing scarier than a woman. And I remember saying to my friend Jeremy, who's here somewhere, I said, so, I can't even remember why, but I just said something like, what's more scarier than a woman being like yelling at you or just being really quiet. So, it wasn't when we were going to go to, when we went to Ottawa, it wasn't so much to scream and yell, but just to stand there and say, hey, you want to talk to us? Come on, we'll talk. So I think it had its impact, as small as it ended up being, but I think there was an impact to it. We never know what these things will do. I mean, the truck convoy, they say, lots of people say, they were going to drop those mandates anyway, and I don't know. I don't think so. But
we obviously have to keep the pressure up.
I think so.
Yeah.
I know, it gets tiring now, I'll tell you. But yeah. No, I'd say keep your ears open for the Convoy 2.0. It's called the Olive Branch Edition.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So this is James Spotter, who's one of the original convoy organizers. It came in from Alberta, and so he and his team are organizing the convoy to Ottawa. Olive Branch Edition for February. So they plan to land in Ottawa, not right downtown, but outside of Ottawa,
And
February 17th.
and did you want to plug the organization you said you founded? I think
Not really. I mean, you can come to my page. It's Canadian Women for Freedom.
Canadian Women for Freedom. Is that on Facebook or?
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, yeah. So feel free to come on over, and we just kind of cover this sort of stuff, and and who knows what might pop up in the future. So yeah, cool.
Amazing.
Alright.
Thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thanks. See you later.
Here, give me a fist bump.
Oh,
I was gonna try to do a walking hug,
I
but I
usually
don't know.
just hug.
We'll do a walking hug like that.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Cheers. Here, wait. Boom. Boom. Yeah, you want to come on live?
Sure, man. You on live right now?
Yeah. I'm here with.
My name's Amari Taylor. I am the lead organizer for the Toronto Freedom Rallies every Saturday at Queen's Park, North End by the Horse. And I know what you saw right here with the flag and stuff is just something that has been going on for a little bit of at the rallies and everything, because there's an attack on free speech, and you have some organizers that are like they're for freedom and Canadian freedom and stuff like that.
Heads up.
They're for Canadians and freedom and stuff, but then as soon as you have something that they don't like, then they try to silence people.
Yeah,
I'm just like, what the heck, guys? Like, I mean, Trudeau's killing kids, and I don't know, I'll say this, fuck him, and the flag stays. But then everyone's making it controversial and stuff. They're like, look, freedom of speech is freedom of speech.
Yeah.
Right? He came from London with the flag, and there's also someone else in the crowd.
Oh, are you talking with the fuck Trudeau flag?
Yeah, he came from London. And then they went on the mic and told him can you please put the flag away? I'm like, he's not gonna put the flag away. He came from London, Ontario.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is a little sad that there is kind of like schisms within like the freedom movement. Do you think there's any solutions to that you can think of?
People have to accept people's freedom of speech, and again, this is a street. This is anything goes. There's no laws, right? If you don't want.
Well, I mean, there is laws.
Yeah, I mean, that's all. I mean, there are laws, but when it comes to protesting, there's no rules. You cannot regulate rules in a protest like this on the street, right? You can recommend. You can ask, but if they don't want to follow or why you're suggesting, you have to let it be. That's true. Right? So that's what I do. I'm just like, look, I don't let that stuff bug me. Right? It's just a flag. I don't worry about the media. Right? The media lies anyways and stuff like that. I'm not gonna hide my beliefs from them. So I just do it.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's why I say I don't, because once you try to single it out, it always causes problems. So just leave it alone, and then no problems happen. Right?
Yeah.
Right, so.
And the convoy really worked out because everyone was like well behaved, right?
Right.
So like that is something that like I do agree with you. Like people are going to do what they want to do, but it also is important to like try and be as cohesive as possible. But you're right. It sucks when people try to start to be divisive and things like this.
Yeah, I mean, well, for one thing, they had the iconic truck that said "fuck Trudeau" on it. And then all of a sudden now everyone's just like, no, we don't want to do it because it may look bad on the media, and the media make things look crazy. Like, don't worry about the media; they lie all the time.
Oh, yeah. Plus, I talked to the person with the fuck Trudeau flag, and right after that, I talked to Josephine, this Indigenous woman from the. I'm gonna forget. Is it 3 tribes? 12 tribes? 6 tribes. Sorry.
Yeah.
6 Nations.
6 Nations. But yeah, she was like, no, yeah, absolutely, fuck Trudeau. Like, wave that flag as much as you want. This is
Yeah.
an Indigenous woman, so.
Yeah, so all I'm saying, like, free speech. I did at Queen's Park at the rallies and stuff. Any flag goes other than the Nazi flag. Obviously, if it was a Nazi flag, I would tell the guy, like, okay, go away, like, go somewhere else, whatever. But
Yeah.
other than that, this
Yeah.
flag, I have no problems with it because we're protesting against him too. So he's an enemy, and he's the reason why kids are dying. So it stays, right? So.
Yo, I want to say thanks so much for your service because I know you've been coming out week after week. So no
See
problem.
you again.
Hey,
I
yeah.
have something to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I just posted your interview, a clip of it
yeah.
recently.
Oh,
Yeah,
know-
Daisy, right?
Oh yeah, amazing! You remember?
I was editing the clip of our interview
yeah.
just the other day. So.
Yeah. Today I stand up for my daughter. You see,
Yes.
she was diagnosed with autism after she received.
Is that right?
Measles vaccination when
my
she
gosh.
was 18 months. But
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
So-
but it really changed my life. That's really hard for us. But,
What-
I want to say, just stop the childhood vaccination because I have some figures. You see, in 1980, only 8 doses for kids. There's only 1 in 10,000 autism. But in 2012, there's 49 doses for kids, but now it's 1 in 50. So they jump up, the number jump up 200 times. So that means there is a direct connection between the childhood vaccination
one in how
and
many?
autism.
One in how many to one in how many?
1 in 50 in 2012.
1 in 50, and it used to be 1 in 10,000.
Yeah, 1 in 10,000. You see
Wow.
the number jumped.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've never actually looked into that stuff myself. That's
Yeah,
that's
true.
wow.
That's really.
So
And
I wanted to ask, it's been a while since we last chatted. Did you watch the Emergencies Act inquiry? And what do you think about what's going on in China now?
there's a protection everywhere because people are standing up for their freedom because they are being oppressed or so much.
Yeah.
And the mandate, the lockdown, and the people really stand up and have their voice. But sometimes I worry about them, about the government.
In China.
Yeah, so I always pray for them because I really worry. I don't want the persecution, the cross down, the big cross down.
And based on what you're seeing and what you're hearing out of China, like how do you think the protest is going? It looks like to us like they're winning, but
They're winning in some parts.
In some
but
parts.
in some that lift up their test, the PCR testing. Some place are lifting up and.
sorry.
Also, it's hard to say, because.
It's okay. You don't have to speak to it. You don't have to speak to it. We have to pray, right? We have to
We
pray.
have to pray for them. Yeah, for their peace and.
Heads up. Heads up.
And I also want to say about the young kids. Now I heard that the Canadian is passing the bill. That they are going to include the mental illness for
medical assistance in dying. That's right.
Yeah, this is really terrible. You see, the young kids are hitting very hard during this COVID. You see, this government is too bad. They are giving them marijuana. They're giving them masks. They're giving them deadly shots.
And now
they're giving them assisted death.
Yeah.
So-
For mature minors, whatever the hell that is.
Yeah. So how vulnerable they are. They are kids. You see, they're so vulnerable. Sometimes they decide to kill themselves, but in the next moment they will regret making this decision, and they say the doctor cannot say no. That if
The what cannot say no?
The doctor, if you cannot say no to the
To the kid?
Yeah, to the
Wow.
patient
That's a-
inquiry. This.
I didn't know that part. I thought they tried to talk them out of it.
So yeah, we have to
Cameraman
stop
shook his
the-
head.
Yeah, we have to stop this bill from
That's
passing.
crazy, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, Daisy, thanks again for talking to us, okay? We'll see you around.
See you, bye.
Here. Bye. What a sweet woman. Got the police behind me. To get a shot of that up there at the flags. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, let's jog up a bit. Actually, would you like to come on live on YouTube Live? No, okay. Let's see here. How's it going, sir?
Not bad, how are you?
We're good. We're on YouTube Live. You want to chat for a second?
I'm just live on mine right now, just marching away.
Good stuff. What bring? Do you mind if?
I'm here with my wife and my 2 kids.
Amazing.
It's March for the mums and the children, right?
That's right. Simple. Simple.
That's it.
And are you from Toronto?
No, I'm from Oshawa.
Okay, good. You made it out today.
Oh yeah.
And
I make it to as many as I can get to.
good stuff. And I know that there's some people who are saying, "Oh, why are you protesting? The mandates are over." Blah blah blah. And why do you think it's important to keep on coming out and standing up for?
Because they're going after the children. It's not even about me anymore. It's about the children. It's already been proven that the jib jab there has killed more people than the sea. So, you know, they're not vaccinating my children.
Yeah.
They're not vaccinating me.
Yeah.
So this is why I come out.
Yeah.
Just to show my support for everybody else that's out here and to make sure my kids are safe.
That's right. And in as little swear words as possible, what did you think of the Emergencies Act inquiry?
Well, our lovely crime minister there, he got up there and just lied his ass off. So that's I didn't watch too much of it because I start yelling at my phone and then I'm gonna throw my phone and then I have to replace a phone. So it's one of those things. Freedom!
And real quick, do you have a message for the people who are still like sitting on their ass, not caring about what's going on, or they don't see it from your perspective? Like, what would you say to somebody?
Open your eyes and do some research. Stop watching MSM, all those mainstream media news conglomerates that are funded by our federal government.
Yeah. Well
I
said,
think,
sir.
I think that's about it, brother.
Well, sir, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. It's so true, guys. They're not journalists. They're propagandists now. They're propagandists. They're not even real journalists. And I think calling them journalists is like, we should kind of like, I don't know. There's some good journalism out there, don't get me wrong, but a lot of them they've really just turned into these propagandists now. It's disgusting. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. Let's see here.
Chick that had a great sign, someone actual person here. That's what I was trying to.
What is that?
There's someone with an actual person on a billboard.
Right.
Someone said it next to me.
Absolutely. Sure. Let's jog up a little bit. Getting some cardio, interviewing people. If you guys are just tuning in, we're in downtown Toronto marching for the Women's March, the Defend Children March, standing up for children, because these are the real victims during this lockdown. These are the real victims over the past 3 years. The children have been completely, left. They've been left behind, man. I can't believe the forced masking was a thing. All right, let's look for someone to chat with. Hello, sir.
I was waiting. Better make sure I'm down.
It's Greg Wycliffe. Go to gregthe.com. You can find it there. Gregthe.com / my YouTube channel, if you ever want to let anyone know. Hey there, would you want to come on YouTube Live? Awesome. Do you both want to come on? Awesome. I am here with
Diana
and
Adriana.
And what brings you out to this protest this afternoon, this evening?
Well, we've been doing this for a long time, going on 3 years, even at Queen's Park. We've been in Ottawa.
Were you in the trucker convoy?
We were I guess so. I don't know if you counted. We definitely drove there.
Right.
We were there on the last weekend when the cops came. That was fun. We're here to support people that are injured. I know people that are injured. Thankfully, I don't know anybody that's passed away after taking this shot. I'm grateful for that. We're standing in solidarity with my friend Monique, who's our dear friend. Her daughters are here from Australia. It's been a really tough ride for her. It's been a very expensive, draining ride for her. So we're here to support her and represent everybody else. And now
Yeah, and there's a lot of Canadians who are saying, "Oh, why are the Freedom people still protesting?" And they obviously don't seem to get it. But what would you say to these people? Do you have any of these people in your life?
Well, there's everybody has their own opinion and stuff. I just want to touch on I guess it just depends on why you're here and what your purpose is. And I got 3 little boys, little young men that I'm raising, and realistically, my time here has to be purposeful, and my purpose as a mother is doing exactly what we're doing and staying, united for these kids. Like, it's their future. They're coming for the future, and it's our kids. We're here for it.
I was gonna say, I like the theme of the protest of mothers standing up for children, because there's nothing like the mother bear, standing up for her cubs. The power of the matriarch.
Yeah, you just wear your heart on your sleeves all the time.
And someone was talking about where are the men at some of these protests? Have you noticed this? Do you have any message to the men here who aren't standing up for their children of this country?
So that all goes. Do you mind? Yeah, you're okay. So I like to call it, and I say things humbly, and I feel men have been sort of put in the shut the fuck up box. For whatever reasons, you can go down lots of rabbit holes, but the truth is this is the women's job, this spiritual part of it. And I'm sure the men will catch up when the time comes, the ones that are here to do what they're here to do, hopefully.
Well, there's a lot of men here, and a lot of men. Traditionally, men work, right? There's still those traditional roles happening, but to put it simply, I say women move mountains. Men are here for support. Men have been here, so we'll give men the credit they deserve. But when it comes to gender roles, like the women that have birthed these children, we all came from women at the end of the day, right? Biological women. So that's it's very personal that way. The whole future rides on us because we have the portal, right, to create life. So I'd say maybe that's why. Maybe we're just a little bit more connected to life in that way, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. I definitely think that as the lockdowns developed, there's all the propaganda coming out, and I almost felt like the people who had newborn children, they had that more maternal instinct that I don't care what the propaganda is saying. I'm going to listen to my instincts on this. But on that note, do either of you watch or listen to the news in this country?
I watch it, pay attention just to stay on top of what they're doing.
On top of the circus.
But we don't really necessarily, believe. We don't believe everything that they're posting, but it's good to know what they're trying to convey.
Yeah.
So,
the narrative that they're trying to,
and that way we can debunk it, right? So.
And aside from the injuries that you mentioned, is there anything else that's happened over the past 3 years that you just want to ensure never has to happen again?
Well, first and foremost, I don't think we should ever take away choice, especially when it comes to bodily autonomy. Within the last 3 years, myself, my mother, and my fiance, we've all lost our job several times for different reasons, lockdowns, mandates, and I don't think that should happen to anyone. We still have mandates, we still have policies in place, and that's what a lot of people don't understand because it's not affecting them directly. But besides that, the mental health of the elderly and the children is what is most devastating. And I'm not a mom myself, but it's absolutely pathetic for people to go on with their life and not pay any attention to that and deny it when you can see it happening. I think that's the most detrimental thing, and you'll see it take effect on these kids in the future. They're already reacting to these vaccines. it needs to stop, and it starts by people stop being in denial, basically. Coming to terms with what's happening, and then, slowly you'll stop being afraid and join the global movement that's happening, because it's not just here, it's everywhere. So we have to continue.
Yeah, we have to confront the very kind of ugly reality, right? When are you running for politics?
I'm staying far from politics. I don't vote. We don't need them. We don't need these leaders. We can be leaders, right? Why do you need somebody to lead you?
Yeah.
Just take the initiative and start something, just like Monique did today, right? So.
Is there anything that you want to plug, or is there anything that you want to encourage people who might be watching at home?
I would just say, follow like Druthers. Druthers is a great news source. I think there's Bridge City News that was in Ottawa. There's like Rebel News that's been part of a lot of this coverage. Monique is independent journalism. She has her own website. I have my own Instagram. It's Soul X Garden. I'm really censored and shadow banned and non-restricted, so.
Soul X Guardian?
Yeah, Garden. Yeah.
Garden.
Yeah.
Soul X Garden.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, once you follow one account, you'll find more, and it'll just continue. Same thing with Facebook. My mom might even watch this. She's always on Facebook and YouTube now, so you'll kind of start to move away from the mainstream and just get on these platforms and share them out, right? One person clicks on it and it continues. So
yeah. No, you're really well. You're both really well spoken. It's good that you make content.
we try.
Yeah, until you get banned 2 days later. Thanks a lot, Zuck. Anything else you wanted to add before we?
You're the mama.
Peace and love. Don't ever stop fighting for
Try
the
to
future.
Stay brave, stay peaceful.
Peace and love, and hands off my cubs.
Oh, fucking hands off my cubs.
All right, thanks so much. Cheers. We'll see you around. I love doing this. I gotta say, I love doing this. I love talking to sane Canadians who care. It feels great. It feels amazing.
Yeah, right?
How are you two doing? I see you have a foot. Would you like to be on YouTube Live? No? Okay, thank you anyway. Yeah, of course. I'll try not to stick cameras in people's faces if they don't want it. Consensual camera sticking in face, you know what I mean? All right. There's a lot of people behind us. Good. This is why we run ahead. We run ahead so there's lots of people that we can fall back on here. There's Ozzy O. I already did an interview. We did an interview with him already. How you feeling?
Cold.
Awesome.
No, good. Really happy with the turnout. It's a beautiful night. Everyone's being really respectful. We're trying to, it's not about chanting and screaming out freedom and stuff tonight. It's more about a silent march, which is good. Everyone's respecting that. And yeah, it's good having a look at all the signs that the different mothers are holding with the stories that people they know, children they know, their children, just all the different stories. It's really, really good to see.
Amazing. I did an interview with Ozzy O, so I'm going to post it eventually. But while we're on live here, plug your social media.
Oh, Jacko, so Jacko 86AUS. That's me. It's pretty heavily shadow banned, so you can type the whole thing in, but that's the game we play when you speak the truth.
Yeah.
Fortunately, if you hover too far over that truth target, you get
the flak.
You get shot down, yeah.
You get flat. That's how you know you're over the target.
Exactly.
Yeah, we love Jacko. He's our Australian-Canadian freedom fighter, so
that's it,
we'll
mate.
see you, brother.
Cheers, mate. Have a good one.
Cheers. Hey there. We're on live. We're on live right now. Do you guys want to come on live? You want to come on live? No? 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 Okay. Thanks anyway. Okay. Hey there. Would any of you like to come on YouTube Live, or we're live on YouTube right now? Greg Wycliffe.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
You as well. So would you like to come on the live? Sure. I am here with
Linda.
And pardon?
From Fix Our World.
Oh, tell me, what's Fix Our World?
It's to unite all people on a world scale.
Amazing.
Started in 2005.
Okay.
And
so you've been awake to some of this stuff for a while.
my whole life.
Your whole life.
Yes.
And for this protest in particular, what does it mean to you? Because this is about defending children. This one, you have the lantern, the silent march, and it's about mothers standing up to defend children, right?
Our children our grandchildren and future generations.
Absolutely. And for people who are, there's a lot of Canadians out there who are apathetic. They're watching CBC News. They don't know what's going on. Why are these people still protesting? Do you have any of these people in your life? What do you say to them? What would you say to them? Or you don't talk to them?
You just have to. There are so many ways to find out the real truth. Like go to your public health website.
Yep.
And it shows the numbers from the very beginning to now.
Yep.
Click on, instead of it under percentage, click on number.
Okay.
And it'll show all the data.
Okay.
How many people died, how many people, what age group, male, female,
And
the
this-
whole works. It's on every public health website.
So you just got to dig for it.
Well, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
And you'll see the truth. And they've changed the numbers because in the beginning they were saying people died from COVID, and then they later
Right.
on realized, oh, it wasn't
Changed
from
it.
that.
Right.
So they've changed the numbers.
Absolutely.
since.
So,
But learning about that, learning about science, true science, not bureaucrats,
Yeah.
real scientists that have stood up right from the very beginning, telling people that the way you create a vaccine, it takes 10 years.
yeah, no, they rushed it. They rushed it.
They didn't do any of the study, like the proper testing.
Yeah.
These mRNAs were never allowed to be a vaccine for 20 years of trying.
Yep.
The only way it could be rolled out is through an emergency act.
Yeah.
If there was no other possibility.
Absolutely.
But there is Chinese medicine that's been around 7,000 years. There's all kinds of medicine that is there for this particular type of virus.
Yeah.
There's always been, even 50 years of ivermectin that made a
Yeah.
Nobel Prize.
Thank you so much for your time.
I know it's a lot.
And what was that website again? It was
Fix Our World.
Fix Our World. Awesome. We'll see you around. Thank you. Hello there, doctor.
That's fine. That's fine. Hi, everybody. Hello.
Hi, I'm live on YouTube right now.
Oh, that's
Would you like to comment? So,
ask a question. Go for it.
my only one thing is I know you know what's going on, and we can't explicitly say that a certain injectable product will harm you. So if we can just talk within those grounds, that would be amazing. Kind of like I don't want you to censor yourself.
Heroin can harm you. That's an injectable product.
True.
And there are injectable things that can harm you. But you go ahead. You talk whatever you want to talk about.
Did I see you on the Unacceptable Views
You did.
documentary? That was you.
That was recorded in March. All those comments I made then was March of this year, 2022.
Okay. And so there's a lot of people, there's a lot of sleepy Canadians who are not awake to what's going on. Maybe they're watching CBC still. Do you have these type of people in your life? What do you say to these people? How do you try to wake them up to what's going on?
I can't even talk to half of my family who doesn't want to know about things like this. I mean, I'm the same as any other human in Ontario. The psychological operation to damage all of our thoughts and to make everybody think there's just one way to be and there's only one answer, it's been huge. And when you're told to lie long enough, as Goering and Hitler knew, you'll get the people to believe you. This has been a lie from the beginning. It's a falsehood from the beginning. It was a human-designed infection and a human-designed vaccine meant to be worse than the infection. And that's what the reality is, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I was telling people, the news isn't news anymore. It is psychological terrorism, especially at the height of lockdowns, where it was just like sickness, death. Here's the death count number. And, this is probably, my background's in media, this is arguably the most sophisticated propaganda campaign that has ever been thrust upon the world ever.
Anyway, all I know as a doctor is I know what hurts people, I know what doesn't hurt people. And this is something that hurts people, without question. The science is clear. It's damaging. And so people have to take back their shoulders. If you've gotten 3 or 4 shots, don't have a 5th, 6th, or 7th. If you've had 1 or 2 shots, don't have the 3rd or 4th. If you've had 0, stay at 0. It's damaging. It's immune damaging. Immune damage means life shortening. If you damage your immune system, you don't live as long as you should as a 30-year-old. You won't live as long as you should as a 50-year-old if you get repeated immune-damaging shots into your shoulder. And this is what we all have to recognize, sadly.
Simple as that. Did you want to make any comments on MAID, which is
No comments. That's an area that has no interest to me.
Okay. All right. Well,
pathetic abuse of life and in many circumstances. Let's just say it that.
And how about Dr. Cancel culture specific to the College of Family Physicians in Ontario? Did you want to do you still have your license? Are you facing consequences for speaking out?
The college is responsible for its own actions. The college has a responsibility to be responsible. It's up to society to judge how responsible they're being.
Okay. And would you have any comments for doctors who are still within the system, or that they see something's wrong, but how do they say? What did they say? How can they say something? Right?
I don't know. Just read a few studies. The studies which clearly show that in Canada you are 300% more likely to get COVID if you've been vaccinated. And the unvaccinated remain getting COVID only 94%. They're 94% protected, just like they always were. An immune system protects you to a huge extent. The immunized people, the people who have gotten this immune-damaging agent, their ability to resist COVID is down to a third of that. It's a third as much as an unvaccinated person. So the vaccines have not been vaccines, they've been damagers. They've made you more likely to get COVID. They've also made you likely to get other infections. And unfortunately, they're also making you more likely to have long-term cancer risk way, way up there. So this is why we're having a vigil here. We're trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to protect the lives of our mothers, sisters, brothers, children. And these candles here are for everyone. It's time to stop. For the world, stop putting these immune-damaging agents in your body. Thank you and good night.
Would you want to plug any of your social media?
I had a question for actually me.
Oh.
Is there any way to mitigate it now that you've done it?
I'm not sure. I think we're having a moment right here. People singing hymns softly.
Whatever was in the back is metal. I'm sure they're
Actually, I'm going to unplug the mic. just here at the corner of, I believe this is St. Patrick and Queen Street, where the protesters just did a kind of a silent ceremony with some singing. Everyone has a photo of their affected loved one. You can imagine what from, but that was quite powerful. That was quite powerful. We talked to the doctor right before that. Guys, make sure you like the stream so more people can find it, okay? I'll plug the microphone back in. StopTheShots.ca. All right.
So obsessed with your camera, that's all.
I can try to grab that question from the doctor if you